Alright, YouTube, today I'm going to discuss to y'all why women love bad boys, bad men, thugs, gangbangers, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to tell you why, so you guys are going to want to hear this because it's going to be very informative and very educational. I'll see y'all soon. Now, y'all, growing up, I used to see a lot of movies on dating, and I always would see a lot of women with bad boys or bad men. I always asked myself, why is this a real thing? And then as I got older and I started dating, I turned out that it is actually very real and it's a real thing, as a lot of you guys know. So I'm going to explain to y'all why this is and why women love bad boys. Not all women, but a lot of women do. So let's just get straight into it. The first thing is, most bad boys, bad men, people who are gangbangers and live a wild life, they are very confident. Most of them are very direct, they're very blunt, they're very straightforward, and women love a man with confidence. So a lot of bad boys have big confidence and they have good belief in themselves, and a woman finds a man who's confident very, very attractive. So a lot of nice guys are very timid and shy, and there are some women that love that, but there are a lot of women that likes a man that is very just straightforward and and very blunt. And a woman loves a man with confidence, and a lot of men that are bad boys have abundance of confidence, and women love that. The second thing is, a woman loves the idea that she can change someone and make him a better person. So a lot of times if you see a bad boy, a lot of times women will think that a bad boy needs to be fixed, and a woman takes that as a challenge, that if she comes into his life and she shows him the right things in life, that he will become better. So a woman loves that because it gives her a sense of an excitement and thrill at the idea of making him a better person, you know what I mean? And I feel like if you are just a very nice person, she doesn't really get that opportunity to do that, you know what I mean? Third thing is, a lot of bad boys have like sense of excitement and thrill about their lifestyle, and a woman loves excitement. I feel like sometimes women think that nice guys are boring, and but I think a lot of women like bad boys because they do a lot of things that a woman finds exciting and thrilling, like maybe going to a car show, or riding on a motorcycle, or just doing something wild or different from nice guys that they normally wouldn't do. And I think a lot of women love that. I think a lot of women like the excitement and thrill factor um of what a bad boy's lifestyle is, even though it can be very bad and illegal. I think a lot of women like the thrill and just doing something new. The next thing is, a lot of women, and this is kind of controversial, but I feel like a lot of women pick men sometimes based off their experiences with maybe like their relatives, or maybe their dad, or people they grew up. So maybe if like their dad or maybe peers that they grew up with were not the greatest people, maybe they did bad things subconsciously, maybe that makes her attracted to that because that's what she saw growing up. So maybe that's what she thinks is the ideal man, you know what I mean, is someone that maybe was her dad and the way she was with her dad, or maybe guys that she grew up around, and she had those experiences with them. So maybe in her brain, that's just the way that she interprets she's supposed to be with. Maybe there's a sense of pressure, that maybe her parents or somebody saying that she can't be with a square, you know what I mean? So the the last thing is, maybe it's pressure from her friends, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of girls that have friends, and girls like to follow girls' leads. No girl wants to feel like left out. So maybe she has friends or peers and they're all dating bad boys, and maybe she doesn't necessarily want a bad boy, but she likes nice guys, good guys, safe guys, but her friends are dating, so they're telling her, okay, you gotta date a bad boy or whatever. So she's gonna go along with it and convince herself she wants that because she wants to fit in with her friends, because they're doing it. She wants to feel a part of that, you know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily mean she wants a bad boy. It could be just a social pressure from her friends or her peers or her family or whatever, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, yes, women love bad boys, and at the end of the day, if you are a nice guy, a quote-unquote boring guy, whatever you want to call it, don't feel upset or angry. I spent many years not understanding why women like these type of guys that get them into stuff, or abuse them, or hit them, or take them on these wild lives and do crime. I never understood it, but at the end of the day, everybody has a right to what they want in life, and everybody has a right on who they choose as partners. And at the end of the day, you can't be upset about it. Everyone has a right to choose who they want. There's a lot of women that love nice, quiet, safe guys, and there's women that like bad boys, you know what I mean? Everyone has a right to their preference, and there's some women that like everything, you know what I mean? Everyone has a right to what they believe in and what they found attractive. So don't get too caught up into it. And for women out there, make sure that if you are dating a guy that is kind of living his life on the fast lane, just be safe and careful. Don't try to get yourself into anything illegal. You know what I mean? You want to make sure you try to stay on a good side of life, and you don't want to do anything that's gonna, one day you're gonna wake up and regret it. So that's all I gotta say about that. Anywho, if y'all like my dating content and my advice and my tips, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate that so much. And this has been your boy Tariq, and I will see y'all very soon in another video. Peace.